April 2, 2025 will be etched in history books as the day the trade war reached a fever pitch. President Trump, in a move that shocked even his closest advisors, announced sweeping new tariffs on Chinese goods. Liberation Day tariffs, as called by the White House, represented a significant escalation in the ongoing trade dispute between the world's two largest economies. The impact was immediate. Global markets shuddered, and the value of the US dollar plummeted to levels unseen in years. China, refusing to be bullied, retaliated swiftly and decisively. On April 12, 2025, Beijing slapped tariffs on a vast array of US products, a move designed to inflict maximum pain on key American industries. The world held its breath as the trade war entered uncharted and perilous territory. The speed and ferocity of the escalation caught many off guard. Analysts and economists, accustomed to the ebb and flow of trade negotiations, struggled to make sense of the unfolding chaos. The consensus was clear: the trade war was no longer a distant threat. It was a clear and present danger to the global economy, and its consequences would be felt in every corner of the world. To understand the trade war of 2025, one must delve into the historical tensions that have long simmered between the United States and China. The seeds of discord were sown decades ago, fueled by a complex interplay of economic rivalry, geopolitical ambition, and ideological differences. China's rise as an economic powerhouse, coupled with its growing military might, has long been viewed with suspicion in Washington. The U.S., accustomed to its position as the world's sole superpower, has grown increasingly wary of China's challenge to its economic and geopolitical dominance. Trade, once seen as a bridge between the two nations, has become a weaponized battleground. Accusations of unfair trade practices, intellectual property theft, and currency manipulation have flown back and forth across the Pacific for years. Each round of tariffs and counter-tariffs has deepened the divide, creating a climate of mistrust and animosity. President Trump's decision to impose Liberation Day tariffs was the culmination of years of simmering frustration with China's trade practices. The president, known for his unorthodox negotiating style, had long argued that China was taking advantage of the United States. He believed that tariffs were the only language Beijing understood. The tariffs, however, backfired spectacularly. Instead of forcing China to the negotiating table with its tail between its legs, the tariffs ignited a firestorm of retaliation. China, under the resolute leadership of President Xi Jinping, refused to be cowed. Beijing's response was swift and calculated, targeting key U.S. industries with retaliatory tariffs. The American economy, already showing signs of strain, began to buckle under the weight of the trade war. Farmers, manufacturers, and consumers all felt the pain as the cost of goods soared. The stock market, a barometer of economic health, gyrated wildly, reflecting the uncertainty and fear gripping the nation. Section 4, Global Economy Reels, From Wall Street to Shanghai. The impact of the US-China trade war reverberated far beyond the shores of North America and East Asia. The interconnected nature of the global economy meant that no nation was immune to the fallout. From Wall Street to Shanghai, financial markets went into a tailspin. Investors, spooked by the escalating trade tensions and the specter of a global recession, dumped stocks and sought refuge in safe haven assets. The US dollar, once a symbol of global economic stability, took a nosedive, reflecting the waning confidence in the American economy. Australia, heavily reliant on trade with China, saw its economy take a direct hit. The Australian dollar plummeted, and businesses dependent on exports to China faced an uncertain future. The trade war served as a stark reminder of the fragility of the globalized economy and the interconnectedness of global trade. Section 5, Shifting Sands, Alliances Reforged in the Fire of Tariffs. The trade war, while devastating in its economic impact, has had a profound geopolitical consequence. It has reshaped global alliances. As the United States retreated from its traditional role as a champion of free trade, other nations have stepped into the void. China, sensing an opportunity, has sought to strengthen its ties with countries around the world. President Xi Jinping, in a series of high-profile visits, has courted leaders in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, offering trade deals and investment opportunities. The European Union, long a staunch ally of the United States, has found itself increasingly at odds with Washington's protectionist policies. European leaders, alarmed by the Trump administration's disregard for international norms, have begun to explore closer economic ties with China and other Asian nations. Section 6. A world divided, the future of global trade hangs in the balance. As the trade war rages on, the world watches with bated breath, uncertain of what the future holds. The global economy, already reeling from the impact of tariffs and counter-tariffs, teeters on the brink of recession. The rules-based trading order, painstakingly built over decades, lies shattered. The trade war has exposed the fragility of globalization and the dangers of protectionism. It has also laid bare the deep divisions that exist between the United States and China, two superpowers with vastly different visions for the future of the global order. The question remains, can the world afford a future where the United States and China, the two most powerful economies on the planet, are locked in a perpetual trade war? The answer, fraught with uncertainty and risk, will define the global economic and geopolitical landscape for generations to come. The battle lines have been drawn, and the stakes have never been higher. Trade, once a force for unity and prosperity, has become the new battleground in a world increasingly defined by competition and division.